Welcome to one of the many circle sessions hosted by Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls is a nationwide classrooms movement. We bring relatable female role models into classroom settings through our circle sessions. As you will see, the crux of these sessions is its dialogic nature. We're currently working with 150 plus classrooms across 7 Indian cities. Our aim is for every adolescent in India to have access to relatable female role models. I welcome you once again and hope you enjoy learning from our speakers' life journey and career path.
Okay. Siddhika, you can start now. Yeah.
Hello. Hi everyone, I'm Siddhika here, and today we are here for a very nice interaction with Miss Simran Nerurkar. She's an actress, and we are doing all of this because of Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls is a kind of an organization, we can say, who helps small kids to interact with female I should say role models so that they can learn something from them and get to know more about their careers and their things. So today I want to welcome Simran Nerurkar with us. Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So you can tell us about yourself, and then the children will ask questions if they have.
Sure. Okay. So, hi everyone. First of all, I just
Hi Dee.
hi.
Hello Dee.
Hi.
Hi Dee.
Hi. Okay. So first, before we go ahead with anything, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored that you even considered me because I am quite new to. I mean, not new to it technically, but I haven't done like a lot of movies and stuff like that, so I'm still finding my way myself. um, so it's great to be here. This is a wonderful initiative. um, and yeah, so my name is Simran Nerurkar. I am an actor. I am 23 years old. I live in Bombay. um, I have been in this line of work for about 3 years now. So I've graduated from St. Xavier's College in Mumbai. I did a BA in sociology and anthropology. And it was actually when I was in college in my third year that I auditioned for this English literature theater fest. And we would put up like about 4 plays for the college. And I feel like the moment I walked onto that stage was like the moment I decided that I just want to do this for the rest of my life because it felt just amazing. It felt very like empowering, and it was like a beautiful moment for me. I'll never forget it. Um, and yeah, after that, it was kind of difficult because 3 years of just auditioning, getting parts,
I think Simran's network is a bit unstable. All right. In the meantime, till somebody joins back, quickly, I'll just set the norms for the session as well. If your bandwidth allows, please switch on your videos. Okay. So I'll give you 10 seconds to do so. Yeah. If your bandwidth allows,
I'm so sorry.
no problem, Simran. You're just setting the norm. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you go ahead.
Hold
You go
on.
ahead. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me though?
Yes,
I
we
don't
can.
know what. Okay. I'm so sorry. Where was I? Oh yeah, I think I was saying hold on. I was saying it was just a difficult sort of 3 years because with acting it's really difficult to come by any real work very soon. So like if you get into it and you get work immediately, it's I don't know, I would have to say you're extremely lucky. And either you're like a star kid and you have that ensured for you. But so I there was a lot of like doubting myself and this and that, but I finally got a really good role in a web series, which is going to be on Z5. It's coming out in April this year, I think. And it's got like a really good cast of actors. Sunil Grover is in the lead role, if you've heard of him. And I get to share, screen space with him and all of that. So it's really like, it's great. And it's being produced by Vikas Behel, it's been being directed and produced and written by him. So it's like a good thing. So yeah, fingers crossed about that. And we just finished filming for that in Jan. So I have that, and I have 3 years of experience to dip into. So you can ask me anything you want. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you so much, Simran, for that. I really feel like they were very, very excited when I sent out the form. I'm not and they were sending you messages in the form also that they were very
Awesome. Yeah.
excited. That are the questions. So before we start, I just want to set the norm so that everybody knows how to engage in this space.
Sure.
First, like I said, videos on if your bandwidth allows. It just helps all of us to know what you're saying and when you're sort of understanding what's happening. Wait for your turn. You can all raise your hands to ask your questions. So wait for your turn. First, Siddhika, you need to call out on your name, and then you can ask your question and participate as much as you can, because you would not get this opportunity again. So ask as many questions as you want, and whatever comes to your mind. There are no wrong and right questions. Anything that comes to your head. Okay, cool. Thank you, Farhan, for switching on your video. And now Farhan switch off her video. Great. इतने सारे हो तो वीडियो तो ऑन कर लो, सबके पास बैंडविड्थ है, मुझे पता है. हाँ, चलो. Cool. Siddhika, you can take over and you can open the floor for questions for now.
Any questions? To start with, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah. So I really want to ask, what was your parents' reaction and how do they support you? Because I have seen in my family it doesn't work like this. It's like कि वही normal अपना अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो and then be independent and then you do whatever you want to do, but that's not the thing. उसके बाद तो time ही नहीं होता and चीजें it doesn't matter. Things doesn't match. So how did your family supported you?
Okay, that's a really good question, actually. My parents are fortunately very supportive of anything that I would choose to do. So, touch wood, I'm quite blessed in that regard. But so I live in a joint family, and I'm really close to my dada dadi, and my whole family is like academically oriented. So all my cousins are engineers. They're into like business, this and that. So I'm the first child in this family who is choosing like an actual career in the arts. My grandparents were not happy with it at all. And it took like a lot of talking to them, convincing them that this isn't, and also it's India and acting is
Exactly.
not looked at something, yeah, it's not looked at something that is like that decent girls do, you know what I mean? Like there is that whole element of whatever, like it's not something that girls from good homes do. So that's something which is still a challenge, because you get a lot of opportunities where the role can be really good, but there are scenes, they'll tell you that there'll be a kissing scene, there'll be a bold scene and stuff like that. And even if you're personally comfortable with doing that, you still don't want to put your family in an awkward position. You don't want them to be uncomfortable or whatever. So all of that is very difficult. But with my parents, I think they were supportive. They were really supportive. Although I understand the angle that be independent first and then do what you want, because it does make sense. You can't really earn immediately when you get into acting. So yeah, hope that answered it.
Thank you so much.
All right, girls. Anyone has any questions for Simran Didi? Now is the time to ask your questions. Raise your hand or type in the chat box.
Or else I have a list of questions which you people gave.
Yeah, we can refer back to it if we feel like we're missing out on something.
Someone in the chat box is asking who is your role model?
Okay, I have a lot of role models. They change very like often. There's this actress. I'm not sure if you've heard of her. Her name is Saoirse Ronan. She's a Hollywood actress, and she's really like great at what she does. So I feel like anyone who is young and really like dedicated to their performance, I really look up to people like that, because in Bollywood, as you know, um, unfortunately, a lot of like jobs are given out on the basis of how you look. And, you know, so your performance is definitely, of course, it's important, but there can be actors who don't look conventionally beautiful or whatever, but are still have a lot to offer. So I think anyone like that is my role model. Currently, I don't really know. Probably Saoirse Ronan, maybe Meryl Streep. They're just wonderful actors. So I also love Deepika Padukone. I think she handles herself like really well, and she gives amazing performances, and she's so beautiful. So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Ankita, you can unmute and ask a question.
यस दी मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि आप जब एक्टिंग सीख रहे थे तो आपने मतलब दोनों कैसे बैलेंस करे मतलब पढ़ाई भी और एक्टिंग भी बस यही क्वेश्चन था
Okay. So actually, I never like learned acting in college. So when I started the whole acting thing after college, so that was my only thing to focus on. But it can be balanced. Matlab, if you do have to like it is a struggle, of course. Matlab, it won't be easy, but if you really want to, I feel like it can be done. You can just manage your time better. But then if you're in 10th standard, or if you have like an important exam, I would say do that first, and then when you have more free time, work on your acting.
Actually, that is true in every field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Neha.
दी आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन दैट हमें और कुछ बनना होता है लाइक लॉयर या टीचर या डॉक्टर एनीथिंग तो हमें एक डिफिकल्ट एग्जाम देना पड़ता है तो दी एक्टिंग के लिए भी हमें एक एग्जाम देना पड़ता है
No, but each audition is your exam. Each audition you give is your exam. Of course, it's not as scary as an exam for like law or anything, but her audition me you have to give like it's like a test, right? Like they're going to be seeing how good your skills are. So fortunately there's no big exam like that unless you go to college for acting. Like if you do like a course at maybe NSD or FTII or something, your finals will probably be a play or a show of some kind. But as of such, there's no entrance exam and all for acting. Yeah, every day is an exam.
थैंक यू
So Sakshi is asking, do you have a YouTube channel also?
Yeah, I do actually. So around last year, my acting career was not like, I was really like doubting myself. I was like, maybe I should do something else. And I really like makeup. So I was like, maybe I should explore being a makeup artist as well, because like it's something that you can do on the side, earn some money from it, this and that. So I did like a small course in makeup, and I always wanted to do my own makeup tutorials and stuff like that. So I just made that channel for fun. It's just something I like to do for myself.
Manisha, you can ask.
um your grades don't matter, like your marks don't matter when it comes to acting. Of course, you'll have to probably, if you're applying, I'm not sure how the process is. I've never like gone to college for acting, but if you're doing like a short course in Bombay, there are a couple of like, you know, acting schools opened by Anupam Kher. There's Actor Prepares, there's Jeff Goldberg Studio, Barry John Acting School, stuff like that. There's a lot of um, these like small courses, but then there are the universities for which I think you'll have to pass like a grade, maybe your 10th standard or 12th standard, but like your marks don't really matter, your studies don't really matter when it comes to acting. Yeah.
Actually, I have a question. So can I ask that?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so I wanted to know that how to get started as an extra actor in the film or maybe TV industry.
Okay. There are a lot of ways you can do it. So I would suggest, if you want to be in film and TV, you should move to Bombay. Yeah, that because this is where all the action is. And so there are a couple of ways that you can sign with an agency. There are a lot of talent agencies that sign people, and then they send out auditions for you. Like they'll send you a bunch of auditions for a variety of roles and ads, TV serials, whatever. And there are different kinds of agencies for different kinds of jobs. So move to Mumbai, get signed with an agency, or you can if you're with an acting school, they can add you to these groups where they send like casting announcements. You can follow these accounts on Instagram. I'll type a few of them into the chat box. There's Casting Bay, there's Anti-Casting, let me think, there are quite a few. There's Mukesh Chabra. And all of these places have their offices and their studios in Andheri. So if you go to Andheri in Bombay, and there's a specific area in Andheri in Versova, it's called Aram Nagar. Okay. And in Aram Nagar, that's where all the auditions happen for just about everything. So you can go there and actually go to these studios and ask them, like, what auditions do you have today? What roles are you guys looking for, this and that. There are a lot of ways. You just need to like be in that circle of action. If you don't live in Bombay, it's really difficult to kind of get in on that. So I would suggest mainly just move to Andheri, and start like getting really friendly with all of these studios and stuff.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's a question in the chat box which says that actors have to face a very bad situations. So do you have any take on that?
What do you mean exactly? Like bad situations as in?
I think she is referring to something like what happened with Sushant Singh or stuff like that.
Okay. That's a tough one, because I feel like it also depends a lot on the kind of people you surround yourself with. You need to be, of course, there are characters in the industry who aren't good people. And as a young woman, especially, you have to know that there are certain situations you should never put yourself in. But fortunately for us right now, we're kind of moving away from Bollywood being the main source of entertainment.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that's been done yet, but when it comes to OTT platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime and all of these Z5, etc., I feel like there are more opportunities for regular people as opposed to, people in the industry already, star kids and all of that. Which means that regular people are in charge and the power dynamics aren't as crazy as they used to be in older Bollywood. So it's like just regular normal people who are working together. And of course there will be weird characters, but you need to just be careful. You just don't audition for roles that you feel are a little shady. Don't go to like don't meet like casting directors one on one. Don't get into drugs, never. Don't hang out with people who are doing questionable things. Just take care of yourself, you'll be fine. That's just like there's no one way to escape this. You need to have like also listen to your instincts, because your instincts will tell you a lot about whether or not a situation is actually dangerous. Yeah.
Neha wants to ask a question.
Didi, who is your favorite actor या actress in Bollywood?
My favorite actress, I love Deepika, but I love Alia Bhatt for her acting. I really like Alia Bhatt's acting. I feel like she delivers amazing performances each and every time. And I'm a big Shah Rukh Khan fan. I love Shah Rukh Khan, love him. And I also love Ranveer Singh. I really like him. So those are my favorite Bollywood actors.
Ranveer Singh has a separate fan base.
Should I answer that? What?
I'm saying Ranveer Singh has a separate fan base of people around him. I am also the
Yeah, I
energy.
love him. He's got insane energy. Yeah.
Like in award shows, he's just alone dancing in the audience, and everybody is just like receiving and taking awards, and he's like enjoying and dancing. And
Yeah, I know, it's insane.
yeah,
It's really good to see that. It's like really fun.
yeah. So there's a question someone was asking: how do you deal with hate comments and stuff, something like that?
Okay, so not recently actually, I did a video on YouTube, like BuzzFeed India, right? Like their channel. So I know someone who does these videos, and he just asked me to be part of it. And I did it. My role was supposed to be like a girl who is kind of, like she's super girly and she talks in a specific annoying way. And I did it, and then I was just going through the comments, and I saw a lot of hate comments for me. And actually there were like 3 or 4, there weren't a lot, but they were like, oh my god, that girl is so annoying, why does she talk like that, why is she doing that? And I'm not going to lie, I felt so hurt by those comments. I felt so bad. I was like, people are just not going to like me only. But at the end of the day, as an actor, you need to know that everyone has an opinion and people aren't shy of stating their opinions. But that's not really my business, at the end of the day. Like, it's really difficult to actually put that in action and live that, because especially when you're like your age, the age you guys are at right now, I was really self-conscious at your age, and I cared a lot about what other people thought about me. But as I've grown older, I have come to realize that people will think things, people will say things, but you have to ask yourself, like, so what? Just ask yourself that question, so what? Because how is it affecting you in the end? Half the people who are going to watch you, you're never going to cross paths with them, you're never going to know them also. So they're basically irrelevant. And it's very difficult to actually believe that. Like, if I get a lot of hate comments and stuff, of course it affects me. But it's a journey. You need to learn that it's okay for people to hate you. People are allowed to hate you. but it's like how you feel about yourself that's important. So you need to make sure that other people's opinions don't influence your own opinion of yourself. Yeah,
That is
it's
very
difficult.
yeah. We have Shugufa with us. She wants to ask a question.
Okay.
Dee, I was asking, were you nervous when you went for your first audition?
Oh yeah, I was very nervous. I still get very nervous. And I'm very lucky that the past few auditions I've been giving have been like self-tapes. So like filmed on my phone and then sent to the casting directors because of coronavirus, because you can't really go to the studios. And that's made it really easy because no one's watching me. But the training I received, so I did an acting course at this school in Mumbai. Yeah, seriously, work from home all the way. I did this acting course at this theater studio. It's called Jeff Goldberg Studio, and they teach method acting. So their main thing is just being present in like the moment, like being in the moment. So that really helped me become a better actor. And also, when you're present in the moment, you start to care less and less about what's going on around you. So you start to care less about who's watching you, what they're thinking, this and that. That really helped me beat that audition anxiety. But also, if it's an audition I really want, I'll be very nervous. And this is a thing, like the more you want it, the worse the audition usually is. So you have to be careful not to want it too much, because your mind is just going to be like, you better do well here. So yeah, it's a struggle, but I was very nervous the first time, and that's okay to be. Nothing wrong with it. Nerves are good.
Is Manisha here? She wanted to ask something.
Which is my favorite movie that I made. I haven't been in any movie. I'm really sorry. I wish I had like, oh, I've done this movie and that movie. But I've only done theater and that one web series. So sorry about that.
Dee, can you tell your YouTube channel?
Sorry?
Your YouTube channel.
Do you like?
The name of my YouTube channel?
Yes.
It's her name. Search her name in YouTube, you'll find it.
Yeah.
They have researched you, Simran. They all told me in the school also today that I saw her YouTube channel. I was like, great.
Awesome. Great. I got some views. I'm really happy. Yeah, it's just my name. You'll find some kind of embarrassed. Is my video freezing?
Yes, your network is a little unstable, I think. So if you want, you can switch off your video. Maybe then it'll become better. Your voice will become fine.
Okay, hold on. I'll switch it off for a while. Okay, is it better?
Yeah, much better. Yes.
Great. Okay.
Manisha, go for it.
Manisha, or do you want to ask something?
Yes, can you speak any one dialogue that you did?
You know, I actually can't, because we sign a contract which tells us not to say any of the lines unless the series comes out. But when the series comes out, I'll definitely say something for you. And also from my plays, I don't remember anything anymore. I'm really sorry.
No problem.
Curious to know more and more.
I think Bosha is a very interesting question, Siddhika, in the chat box.
I missed it. I know. Oh yeah, she is asking, could you please describe a normal day on a shooting set?
Okay. It's different each time, but usually call time, that means the time that you have to be there, it's roughly like 7:30 a.m. depending on the shoot. But for this series, it was really like 7:30. You reach, they do your makeup. They'll do makeup and hair, and then they'll get you changed. And these assistant directors are the ones who handle like all the basic matters. So they'll come and they'll tell you, they'll give you like a heads up. So like a 20-minute heads up, like get ready for your shot. And you'll have your scripts. They call them sides, which they'll give to you. And you sit and you do your preparation, and then they take you to you'll do your shot. And there's a lot of waiting usually between shots, because setting up a shot takes a really long time. And I think that's one of the most difficult things about being an actor. It's the wait, because you're just like, you're sitting there and they won't really give you a proper answer as to when they're going to take you to the set, because they don't know themselves. And yeah, and it's just like then you finish, and working days are usually very long. So I've had like 14-hour work days and 15-hour work days. It's very exhausting. And I'll be home by like maybe 11:30, 12. On a good day, we'll finish by like 6 or 7 p.m. So that's really great. You can come home. It's a lot of hard work, but it's very fulfilling.
We have a question in the chat box which says, do directors scold you? And how did you feel if they have?
I haven't been scolded yet, but they do scold you. I've heard some very famous directors, like, if they don't get what they want, they can yell at you. So you have to be thick-skinned enough to know that they don't mean it personally. They just want things to be a particular way. And yeah, it's okay. We all get yelled at. Honestly, I'm really not looking forward to being yelled at, because I know I'm going to start weeping. I really like cry when people raise their voices at me. So not looking forward to that. So I try to just do everything right, like be on time, know all my lines properly, so that I don't give them an opportunity to scold me. But yes, they do scold you.
I have a quick question, Simran. Are there any myths which you would like to burst for like people who are not in the industry, and probably everything is just made up in their head, because we hear so much of like tabloid, and we have these preconceived notions about everything. So are there any specific myths that come to your mind which you would like to correct us on?
Okay, interestingly, someone actually asked this in the chat box. Is it to be an actress, does beautiful matter or talent? I definitely, look, now there are different kinds of acting. There's not just Bollywood. There's web series and plays and ads, and I think talent is definitely the winning factor, because you can be extremely beautiful, but if you don't know how to do your job well, you're not going to get work. You need to okay. And also, another myth I'd like to bust is that talent is always something you're born with. Acting is less about being talented and more about learning to be in the moment. There are these like there is this thing where if you're a non-actor, sometimes, like, if they're doing a scene where they just need a small role, like an actor for a small role, and they call someone from the street and just tell them that so and so, like, just be in the situation, sometimes they can actually give a better performance than an actual actor, because they're just existing. Acting isn't about like hero-giri and like being very intense and delivering these big fancy dialogues. it's the most important thing is to just exist in that moment like you would in real life and believe that that moment is real. That's when the performance is honest and good. So it's not really about talent, I would say, you know. So yeah, in this case, talent means being able to fully believe in that situation. Am I making sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But then again, if you're going to do Bollywood, you need to have skills like dance and stuff like that. So in that case, then talent would be something that would play a role. But anything can be achieved with classes and various techniques. So it's not like you have to have everything in place before you start your career. Just work on yourself and you can get there. Yeah.
So Mufa wants to ask something.
Sure. Go ahead.
Dee, I was asking, as a female actor, do you like to be like the, do you like the role of being the good girl in movies or the web series, or the devil one, like the
Oh,
villain?
it's a really good question. Thank you for asking. That's an interesting question. So you know, I'm a very good girl in real life. I'm a very shy girl in real life. I don't like to, you know, like Deepika Padukone's role in Cocktail. I'm the opposite of that. So I always look at roles like that as a challenge to me, because a super confident girl who's very loud and very like out there, that would be something I would have to push myself to play. And in like a bad girl or someone with like evil tendencies would also be difficult for me to relate to. So if I want to be in my comfort zone, I would definitely go for the good girl role, because that'd just be easier for me. But the other kind of role would definitely be a challenge, and I love a good challenge. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing something like that in the future.
Okay, the one more question I was asking, like when you go for audition,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know that there's an audition? Like, is there any post or something on social media? And the second question is, when you go for audition, after giving the audition, do you choose the role, like which person you want to be, or the director watches you and decides that you can do this role better, so they ask you to do the role?
Okay, so for me, I'm currently signed with a talent agency. It's called Adore Models, and it's a Bombay-based agency. So what they do is they'll send me auditions. They'll send me like, so people the directors will decide. Not the directors, actually, the casting directors will decide who fits the role. So if they have a role where they're looking for a young girl in her early 20s who is so and so, the agency will send it across to all the models who fit that description. And they will send you the scene that you need to perform. There'll be like a specific scene or two. And then you go and you give your audition or you film it. So nothing is really in your control except the performance you give. So there's that. And also, if you want access to auditions, these Instagram pages that I mentioned earlier, they usually put out these posts that we're looking for, you know a teen girl in her age 17 to 20 who is 5'4" and above or something like that. And they'll have these Facebook pages as well where you can go and access that. So you can just apply. You can send in your um, auditions and your pictures and whatnot. And yeah, that's how you give auditions.
Bo-
Bosha.
Switch my
Oh,
video on now. Let's.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask that what makes an actress be the highest paid actress? Because there are only like some actresses that are like the highest paid. So what makes them be in that position?
Sorry, 1 second. I can't hear you. Can you go again, please?
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, so I was asking that what makes an actress be the highest paid actress? Like, why are some actresses the highest paid and why some are not?
Okay. Lot of factors. There's your likability, okay, which means that if the masses, if the people really like you, you're going to get a lot of good reviews. People are going to go and watch your films more, of course, and that means that you'll be cast more and more. But that's not the only thing. You need to have connections. So people like Alia Bhatt, people like Deepika, Kareena, as you know, they're very good friends with the really important directors and producers in the industry like Karan Johar, Sanjay Leela Bansali, so on and so forth. So I would say that your social circle, the connections you make are also extremely important. In fact, they may be one of the most important things when it comes to Bollywood. But see, there's no real way to answer that question because, we haven't really figured out yet what makes people like someone so much. For example, look at Amitabh Bachchan. When he entered the industry, my parents always tell me that when he entered the industry, people spoke really badly about him. No one thought he was good looking. He was compared to the other more handsome actors like Dharmendra, Jitendra, all of these Rajesh Khanna, the really famous, good-looking actors of that time. And he didn't come from like a film family. He was too tall, he was too skinny. People didn't speak well about him at all. But look at him now. He's the biggest star that we've seen. And Shah Rukh Khan also has a similar story. So I feel like the way you're received by the public has a lot to do with who you are as a person, what you specifically individually bring to the table, and you can't really object to that. But the higher your likability and the better your social connections, of course, the more work you're going to get, and the higher paid you're going to be.
Okay, thank you.
You're
I have,
welcome.
I have a quick question. Considering we're doing Wonder Girls and we're doing it for women as role models, what do you
Right.
like? What kind of a situation, like for women in a lot of spheres, it becomes difficult sometimes to do the best that they can due to external
Yes.
factors or internal factors. So that's something that you also, as a girl, or have faced within the industry, and how sort of you have dealt with it, or some kind words of, to them as well to just learn from, if anything that comes.
Yeah. Okay. I think there are a lot of factors. Okay, firstly, that as a woman, first of all, female actresses get paid a lot less than the male counterparts. Even big names, um, as you know, the wage gap is a very real thing, and it exists very much so in Bollywood as well. I haven't really faced that yet because I frankly am a newbie, and whatever I got paid for my series, I can't really contrast it with the other actors because they're a lot more experienced and established. But if you're on the same level as an actor who is a male, I'm sure that there's definitely a huge difference in the pay, which is ridiculous considering we're in 2021, but it's real. And there are also the beauty standards applied to women because so I'm really short. Okay, I'm 5'1" or 5'2" on a good day. um and I have faced a lot of discrimination, not necessarily, I won't go so far, but you're expected to look like ridiculously beautiful if you want a certain kind of role. And it's hard to do that all the damn time, like all the time. You can't just be looking flawless. It's so much pressure that if you're doing an audition, you need to look, I have to wash my hair every time I take an audition, because my hair, if it looks oily or something, my agency will tell me. Like, I remember there was this test shoot that I did with my agency where I was new. I was just like newly signed, and I have a bit of like a slightly chubby face, okay? Like my cheeks are not chiseled and like all cheekbony or whatever. So I remember they took the pictures and I looked very round. And they literally told me that, like, you need to lose some weight. And I was like, I am a thin girl. I am not like overweight or anything. I work out, I do this and that. But the standards are still really ridiculous. It's insane. At the end of the day, um, I don't know. It's just lifestyle is very important, and you need to know, like, not to take that to heart. Because I feel very bad. Someone's telling me that, you're not looking good in these pictures. You need to lose weight. That hurts your feelings, right? Of course, it's going to hurt your feelings. So there's that. There's also, of course, you have to be very careful about the way you talk to a lot of actors in the industry. There are a lot of A-list actors who regularly have sexual relations with starlets or new girls. And I won't take any names, of course, but there are very, very, very famous actors who would ask you to, engage in sexual relations with them. And if you refuse, they can attempt to ruin your entire career. So just be very careful with who you interact with. I'm really sincerely hoping that things will change with the times, and with this kind of shift towards OTT platforms. That's my only hope. But yeah, there are a lot of difficulties that as a woman you really, really need to be on your guard. Just remember to trust your instincts. Never really interact too much with shady characters. Don't do anything you're uncomfortable doing, please. I will never force myself into something where I feel like I'm compromising my self-respect. And listen, if you want to do like a bold scene, or you're comfortable with doing a sex scene or a kissing scene, that's okay, that's fine. But you shouldn't be forced into it. Just remember that no one has the right to make you do that against your will. So yeah, there's that.
Absolutely. I think with the beauty standards, I think it exists generally also in society. Imagine the pressure on people who have to sort of, be a certain way for people to, like you. So I can imagine the pressure is multifold when it comes to this specific industry.
And skin color is such a big thing. I've seen actresses who had such beautiful dusky complexions become white all of a sudden. And there are ways that it's done. So like, I know exactly what you need to do that as well. So like, it's a very real thing that happens, and it's so
as well.
yeah, it's awful. But yeah, just like remember that, just hold on to the fact that people are waking up to it finally, and it will take a while, but hopefully by the time you guys decide to go into it, if you guys are planning on it, hopefully there will be some changes in place.
Yes, I think Boshra has another question that she wants to.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to ask this, that as we see in films like Fashion and Heroine, that the actress or the model the actress or the model eventually gets addicted to alcohol and drugs, and also like are these all true about like when we actually go in the industry, like are there chances to live life like that or anything like that would happen or not?
There is every possibility for that to happen, because in a lot of parties, one thing I learned growing up, like one thing that was a huge shock to my system was how many people casually do hard drugs in these circles. It's like cocaine, for example, is a very like normal thing for a lot of people, but it's all on you at the end, right? Like if someone offers me drugs, I'm not going to do it because I know what's going to happen down the road. It's a choice. You don't have to become addicted to drugs and alcohol. It's absolutely not something that is necessary. And right now I think we're in a good place when it comes to health, because fitness and like yoga, spirituality, they're really like they're quite fashionable at the moment, so a lot of A-listers don't drink. They don't drink alcohol for fitness reasons, and that's a very good thing, I feel, because we're getting more into a very like holistic good lifestyle, which is becoming more and more popular every day. So I think things are changing. I'd like to think they're changing. I have personally not seen I don't really know anyone who has gotten addicted to drugs or alcohol in the industry. So I think it's all about just, see, adulthood is in itself a place where things like this can happen. So it's not just this industry, you can get addicted to alcohol or drugs in any field. So it's up to you. That's all. Just be careful. I'm going to keep saying be careful.
Okay, thank you. And I would want to add another question. Should I?
Yes, please add.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what's the route to become an A-lister actress or an actor? Like, does it have to do with chance, or anyone can like become?
It really has to do with luck and chance, because being in the right place at the right time is important. See, becoming an A-lister is really difficult. I won't lie to you. How many people do we know who are, I mean, how many A-listers even are there out of the millions and millions of people who want to be actors? There are very, very few who actually make it to that, uh, really high level, like the Alia Bhatts and the Deepika Padukones. And also, listen, I just want to tell you guys something. I feel like a lot of people, when they're young, and I was just like that, starting out, my goal as an actor was to become a Bollywood star, okay? But there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking on other roles and not becoming like really ridiculously famous. Of course, if that's something you really want, by all means go for it. But acting can be really fulfilling no matter what you do. You know what I mean? So even if you get like a really interesting role on a web series, or in an independent film, or something that's not traditionally just like being someone's love interest and dancing around in a nightclub to some catchy song, even if it's not that, you can still do really good work and make a lot of money as well. So make sure going in that it's not your only goal, like I have to become the next Alia Bhatt, I have to become the next Shah Rukh Khan, or the whatever. That's something that you need to realize, because as time goes on, you'll find that that dream isn't all that it's made out to be. I'd switch on my video, but I think that's messing with my voice. I'll try again. Hold on.
I think, Simran, in the interest of time, I just want you to sort of give your like any last takeaways or anything which you would like to tell them in terms of if they want to pursue this or anything that they want to pursue, any closing remarks, because I feel like
Yeah, we're running out.
we're
Okay.
running out of
Okay. Advice I'd give you: have a lot of faith in yourself. Just really believe in yourself. You need to know that you can do this. It might get difficult at times, but you absolutely 100% have the ability to do it. You just need to believe that you do. Remember the thing I said about other people's opinions, because they don't matter. They don't matter. And knowing that fully comes with time, but you have to work on that. Know yourself, know your own emotions well, because as an actor, your emotions and being able to be vulnerable, because you need to convince your audience that whatever whatever's happening in the scene is real. So in order to do that, you need to actually feel those things, and if you're like a person who suppresses your feelings and your emotions, and you don't actually feel things through properly, you're not going to be able to give an honest performance. So make sure you know yourself inside and out. And advice that I'd give you is just like, accept that this is a difficult career choice, and you need to have a lot of passion for it and a lot of dedication to get somewhere, because starting out, it's not going to be easy. It is difficult, but if you really want to, you can absolutely get where you want to be. So yeah.
It was a great point, Simran. Thank you so much. We will do
Thanks
a
for
quick
having me.
picture before we close off.
Sure.
सब लोग प्लीज अपना वीडियो ऑन करें, वरना फोटो में आपका सिर्फ ब्लैक स्क्रीन आएगा. Rosie, अरे guys, put on our videos, no girls, please, so that I can take a nice picture. Good, thank you. मुझे लगा क्या हो रहा है. Fiza, Hina, Sakshi, thank you Shagufta, Isha, Anamika, Manisha, Masuda. Quickly, try मतलब वीडियो ऑन करने में. Yes. Great. तो इतने अच्छे लग रहे हो, सबके पास बैनर है, वीडियो ऑफ होके बैठे हुए. चलो, smile everyone. So the one more, I think so one more person. 1, 2, 3. Great. आ गए ना सब लोग. हाँ. Perfect. दीदी camera is not good. हाँ तो कोई बात नहीं, it's okay. All right. Anyone who wants to say anything to Simran Didi before she?
Thank you, ma'am, for giving information.
Thank you, ma'am, for meeting and good information.
Lovely meeting, ma'am.
Lovely meeting you too.
Thank you, Didi, for giving us your time.
Didi, I have to ask a question.
Yes, ask quickly.
Didi, you live alone or with your parents? When you go acting in, you have to go another places to act.
I've never had to do that yet, but if I have to, I think I'll have to go alone. Just scary, but I'll have to go on my own. Yeah. But I live in Bombay with my parents. Yeah.
Or what is your favorite pet?
My favorite pet? Oh my god, I love dogs and cats also. But I think dogs a little more.
I also like same, Didi.
All right, guys, question ka time up ho gaya.
Thank you so much for having me, and best of luck, everyone.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank
to you.
Simran. Thank you. Thanks a lot for doing this. I feel like it's very important to see different perspectives in different professions.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you just see like these 2-3 things and you're always like, acha bas ye karna hai, ye karna hai, ye karna hai. But because you never get to explore what other people are doing. So I think it's a good, this Wondergirl thing is a good opportunity for them to at least ask whatever comes. It's not only about what the profession is about, just like, to understand what it's all about. And I think it's a great way of doing this. So thanks a lot for doing this. And I'm sure they're taking away a lot from this. Some of them also wanted an autograph. But I don't think that'll be possible.
Guys, I'm not that That successfully at least.
मैं
I'll
बोला
give
कि
you.
दीदी का अभी से लेके रख लेते ऑटोग्राफ, दीदी सक्सेसफुल हो जाएंगी फिर ऑटोग्राफ नहीं मिलेगा. तो दे वर टेलिंग मी इन स्कूल कि दीदी से बोलेंगे ऑटोग्राफ दे दे. मैंने कहा वो तो पॉसिबल नहीं है, बट आई लेट हर नो स्टिल.
That's great to know.
Alright.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Thanks.
Best of luck, guys. Lovely meeting you all.
Yes. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Dee. Thank you, Dee, for the
Bye,
meeting.
Dee. Thank you, Dee.
Bye, Dee.
Bye.
Bye, Dee. Thanks for meeting.
Welcome. Thank you for having me and for listening. Okay, I'm gonna leave.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes. Please.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.